Cousin Richard's Thanksgiving visit. A midnight voice is a iVox holiday special. A first cold wind of November rattled the windows that morning. I sat at the kitchen table finishing my homework when I heard my stepmother's voice drifting from the living room. Gale always spoke softly when she didn't want me to hear, but I caught enough. "He just needs a place to stay for a while," she said. "Poor Richard's had a rough year back east. Lost everything." Dad's voice came back from the recliner, slow, doubtful, the kind of voice that already smelled trouble. "Richard, from your side of the family?" "Yes," she said quickly. "My cousin." I froze. In all the years Gale had been my stepmother, I had never once heard her mention any cousin Richard, and from the sound of Walter's voice, neither had he. Later that evening, when Dad came to say good night, I asked quietly, "Who is this cousin Richard?" He sighed. "Your stepmom's got a big family, Jill. Probably someone I just never met." But I could tell he didn't believe his own words. Dad always tried to see the good in people, especially Gale. She was beautiful in a cold, movie star way, and she knew exactly how to use that beauty to bend men around her finger. A week later, the doorbell rang. A tall man stood on the porch, handsome in a sharp but worn jacket. His smile looked practiced, but his eyes, those gray, glassy eyes, were empty. Gale nearly leapt into his arms. "Richard! Oh, it's been too long!" she cried. Then, turning to me, she said, "Jill, this is my cousin Richard." He gave me the half smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Nice to finally meet family," he said smoothly. Something about him didn't fit. His clothes were too nice for someone ruined by the economy, and his handshake was too firm for a man down on his luck. That night, long after the house fell quiet, I heard muffled laughter coming from downstairs. I crept to the vent above the living room and listened. At first, just whispers, then unmistakably the sound of a kiss. I bit my lip so hard I tasted blood. My stepmother was having an affair with this supposed cousin. The next morning, I hid small cameras around the house behind frames in the air vents above the mantel. If Gale thought she was clever, she hadn't met my kind of clever. Days passed. Their laughter became routine. Then, one evening, Richard leaned toward my father during dinner. "Say, Walter," he said casually, "you ever go turkey hunting? I know a patch of woods nearby that's crawling with wild birds." Dad grinned. "It's been years." "Sure, that sounds like a fine Thanksgiving morning." Across the table, I saw Gale's eyes flash not with excitement, but with something dark, something calculating. That night, while they thought I was asleep, I crouched in the dark hallway outside the kitchen and recorded everything. "He doesn't suspect a thing," Gale whispered. "When he goes hunting, you take care of it. The insurance will pay out, and we can finally start over." Richard's voice was low, almost tender. "After we're done, no one will ever know." Then came another kiss, a longer one, and then Gale laughed a sharp, cruel sound that didn't sound human. "Don't forget the other one," she murmured. "I've got a policy on that brat, too." My blood ran cold. I didn't sleep that night. At dawn, I woke with a start and realized I hadn't set my alarm early enough. The house was empty. Dad's truck was gone. I grabbed my phone and texted him in panic. "Dad, don't trust Richard. He's not who he says he is. Look at these." I sent the photos, the kisses, the whispers, the secret touches. Then I called the police. My voice shook as I told them everything. They didn't hesitate. We raced down the old logging road that led into the woods. My heart hammered as I watched the GPS pulse closer to Dad's location. Suddenly, a sharp crack split the morning air, one then shot, then a cry. Through the police cruiser's window, I saw my father stumble, clutching his shoulder. "Stop the car!" I screamed. The officers burst out, guns raised. Richard stood over Dad, reloading, eyes wild. He raised his rifle, but before he could fire again, a single shot rang out. One of the officers hit him clean across the clearing. Richard fell backward into the frost-bitten leaves, his rifle spinning away. Dad was alive, bleeding, but alive. Hours later, as the police cuffed Gale and led her down our porch steps, she didn't look at me once. She just kept her chin high, her eyes full of hate and disbelief. Dad spent Thanksgiving in the hospital, his shoulder wrapped tight in white gauze. But even there, he managed to laugh. "Guess I won't be doing much hunting this year," he said, handing me half of his turkey sandwich. "Happy Thanksgiving, Jill. You saved your old man." I smiled and took a bite. "You owe me a drumstick when you're back on your feet." He laughed again, eyes warm but tired. "Next time I think about marrying again," he said, "remind me to wait 30 years, just to be sure." Outside, snow began to fall in soft white curtains. That Thanksgiving, I was thankful for one thing above all: justice. And as for Gale, she finally got what she deserved. Walked away, her charm wasted on gray walls and cold bars. Just another stuffed turkey waiting for her sentence.